Hello, welcome to the 11 cast. Time waits for no one. Here we are joined by audio via Skype with Corey Allen. Corey, who are you?
I am a writer, a podcaster, a music producer, and a meditation teacher.
Okay. And you have a podcast called The Astro Hustle. So basically, what does the name Corey? What does the name Corey mean?
If you research the etymology of the word, in Gaelic Irish, it means either hollow, as in like a negative space, or a cavern.
Huh. And how do you feel about your name?
I don't really have an opinion on it one way or the other. It's not really something I think about. I appreciate that it's short because it just, you think about the amount of time that you say your name or someone says your name over your life, that adds up to a lot of,
right to the core of it.
A lot of syllables, man. So it just gets to it. Yeah.
Yeah. It gets right to the core of it. Well, that's interesting. Cavern. I thought you'd be an interesting first guest to have on because of your podcast, The Astro Hustle, and your idea of, or what I think your idea of the self is. I have an idea of what I believe the self is, which I believe is beyond skin deep, beyond, my body, my physical appearance, the things I wear, the things I am. But I wanted to ask you, who are you? And also, you can answer this however you want. I know this is really weird. I wanted to know the significance or thought behind the name The Astro Hustle Podcast.
Sure, man. I mean, are you asking who am I in a, philosophical sense as far as what I identify as my, identity and selfhood and ego and individuated awareness? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, that's actually why I thought it'd be really funny to have you as a first guest, because I kind of had this notion that you would have multiple perspectives on it.
Yeah, I do. That's why I was trying to clarify exactly what you wanted.
So however you want to answer the question, you could answer it both ways, or you could do it one way.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the I-ness is a ecosystem of neurological conduits, which I don't have access to, all of them. I think that there are, in each individual, this isn't special only to me, I think in each human, there are deeply embedded genetic and epigenetic imperatives in everyone's biology. And as that begins to expand and grow through time, from the beginning of being born and just through all their chance experiences in life, that each experience imprints an individual, and that imprintation affects how the person sees the world and their impression of reality and so forth. That's why I know two people are the same, because everyone lives a different narrative of existence throughout the world, and everyone has a different past experience and genetic inheritance and so forth. And then fast forwarding a little bit, I think that over time that builds a complex architecture within the psychology of a person, because you have all of your associative experience with your history, and that can be emotional and intellectual and symbolic inheritance or symbology that you have with all of your experiences. And then you also have the way that you apply your memories to that, the way that you can see yourself, how much self-awareness that you have in relation to your experiences, and so on. And then, how you shake hands with your ideas and symbols of what you've experienced in the past with what you're experiencing in the future and in the present, ultimately. How those two things connect and how you respond to them and how you what you do to become more aware of them, I think, influences greatly who you are in that moment. The tricky thing, of course, is that it's not possible, I don't believe, for any individual to be aware of the complex subconscious tapestry and network that's happening underneath our membrane of conscious awareness. Ultimately, I think if you talk to, which I have the great pleasure of getting to talk to some cutting-edge neuroscientists on my podcast, is that more and more neuroscience is hypothesizing that they're actually, what we experience as conscious awareness is a harmonic of a infinitely reductive network of subconscious threads. So really, we are aware of a very minimal, in very narrow slice of what's actually happening inside of our brains. It's sort of like our subconscious is getting over on us and controlling us in ways that we can't possibly even understand. Yet we feel like we understand it because of the way that our ego is programmed. We need to, it's kind of a fundamental aspect of being human, is that we need to believe that we are in control in making our decisions. And what's weird is that we are, but I isn't. An individual is controlling, their actions, but their awareness isn't necessarily controlling their actions. So I think that's what a person kind of is as far as an identity, and I feel like I am a person, and therefore, one of just an expression of that medium of consciousness.
That was a lot to take in, and I totally agree. I mean, I think there's so much to dig into there, especially for an 11-minute podcast. But, your interview with Kevin Kaiser, if people are listening and want to go back into your back catalog, talking about the self, I think if people could see each person's story and, see things from other people's perspective, there'd be more understanding and more love in the world. And, there's so much that goes into it, from the genetics of our neurological makeup to our life experiences, and the things that we experience shape our subjective reality, and the subjective reality of one person is their true reality, and it's hard to, at least for me, it is hard to often step outside of my own self and see from another perspective. So there's this quote that I like that says, "Be kind, for everyone you know is fighting a hard battle." And I think you did a really good job, and I kind of had a feeling your answer would be somewhat along those lines. We're coming to the 8-minute mark now, so that means we're coming close to the end of this episode. And real quickly, if you could give a quick synopsis of what the Astro Hustle name means, and then what you enjoy doing in life.
Sure. So the Astro Hustle is kind of a quadruple entendre. It's the sense of, on a macro level, it is the Astro Hustle in that the cosmos, the totality of the universe, is in a perpetual energetically churning state of kind of entropy and exploding suns and black holes eating planets and stars, dying and being reborn. On a micro level, it's meant to mean that, people, we are down here on this planet grinding it out, and we are comet dust. Humans came, as far as the current scientific viewpoint is that we're hydrogen, carbon, so forth, that rock, those comets hit Earth, and then through millions of years, billions of years, humans eventually emerged. So we are literally comets grinding away on this planet as well, hustling away. There's also the inner landscape of the individual, in our inner lives. The astral hustle, astral in the sense of the psychedelic cinema of the mind, the conceptual, mystical, almost, if you want to call it spiritual, inner life that we have. That's often referred to, the visionary state of that in your mind's eye is referred to as astral. So it's also the astral hustle, is that there's this internal life that we're all peeling away and always working at and grinding at. Also, the other meaning is that it's a astral hustle, as in it's a joke. It's like you're getting over on someone, and that can be yourself and everyone else. You're hustling them. You're hustling yourself.
Okay. We have like 30 seconds left.
Sure.
Time waits for no one. That's one of the mantras of this podcast, and that's part of the reason it's so short. Corey, thank you for explaining your name, the meaning of your name, and your podcast. All the links for that. What are things you enjoy in life in 10 seconds?
I enjoy being present and soaking in the richness of now, regardless of the circumstances.
Thank you so much. The time is up. Time waits for no one. God bless. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 11 cast. Time waits for no one. Today we're joined by Yoel Rex via Skype audio. How you doing, Yoel? What's going on?
I'm doing great. I'm doing pretty good.
All right, so Yoel, that's your real name. What does it mean?
Yeah, so I was born in Israel, and the way that my mom describes it is that when I was being born, Israel wasn't such a great country as it is right now. It was still pretty deserty, and I was premature. And my mom told me that trying to get to the hospital, because she was a Soviet Union immigrant, Jewish immigrant. Yeah. They didn't speak Hebrew. So they were trying to find this hospital, and this was before GPS was a thing. And my mom is over here giving birth, and this guy, they pulled over and asked this guy for directions, and he told them that he could take them there. So he got in the car and he started giving them a bunch of directions, but he didn't take them to the hospital. He just needed a ride, and he tricked them into giving them a ride back to where he had to go. So, eventually, they finally did find the hospital, and I was premature, so I had a bunch of complications, and my mom said some rabbi came to the hospital, and he gave her a piece of paper, and he said, if you name him Yoel, then he's going to live. And supposedly that's in the Hebrew Bible, that's the second hand of God, that's what that name means. That's why he wanted to give me that name.
Wow.
Yeah, and I lived, because I'm here today.
That's actually, it's crazy, man. I'm so surprised when I ask people the meaning behind just their name. All the responses I've gotten so far from people I've interviewed and people I've talked to just on the streets. But your YouTube name is Yoel Rex.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
So
what is the meaning of that?
When I came up with that concept, I was doing a bunch of prank videos. Because pranks were really hot at the moment.
Yeah, back in the day.
All of my connections. But I also at the time I was watching a lot of H3 videos, and he was doing those reactions, but they were good reactions because he was giving his actual opinions about the videos. He wasn't just sitting there staring at the video.
Right.
And I was like, how can I take what he does but make it my own thing? I know I'm a wreck people, and I'm gonna call them wreck actions. So it's I'm reacting.
I never heard you say the rec actions before. See, I understood the Rex part of it, or I had the concept you're gonna wreck these people, like Foozy Tube and all the people that were reacting to the fake pranksters back in the day. But I never heard you put it that way. That's really cool.
Yeah, that was my whole thing.
Do you have a name for your fans?
Big peepees.
Big peepees.
Yeah.
What's the meaning behind that?
All my fans got big peepees.
All your fans got big peepees?
And all the haters, they're called small peepees. And the only reason they're hating is because, they're small peepees.
Ah, I understand. Totally get it. So you wreck people on YouTube. And is that still kind of what your channel's doing? Is that what you're about right now?
Yeah, but at the same time, a bunch of people also came up and I feel like I try to do it the proper way. I don't just, just go like, oh, look at this guy's nose or look at this guy's eyebrows. I really sit there and I try to dissect their actions over anything. And I feel like a bunch of people came up and they just started making fun of people just to make fun of people. And
yeah, like back in the whole Leafy debacle. Remember, like the whole like Leafy versus Ethan Klein versus.
Yeah.
Everybody was like at each other's throats. Then like the whole like drama thing kind of died off.
Yeah, well, I was riding off of that wave. I was definitely riding off of that wave, and then I kept doing it though. But after the whole apocalypse, I had to just step back and be like, okay. You gotta really do this satirically. You gotta really do this the proper way. You can't just be insulting people. You have to like do it proper.
Right.
You gotta have reasons behind your actions.
Yeah, because the internet will call you out on that.
Ways. And I guess how I would call it or how I would describe it is that like your IQ has to be like a certain level. Understand that I'm not just making fun of these people. I'm like
that sounds like a
really giving them.
That sounds like a Rick and Morty meme. Your IQ isn't high enough to understand my memes.
Yeah, and then so the concept of the channel stayed the same, but I feel like I just been getting better and better, even though the views aren't as good as they used to be in the start. Because I rebranded the channel maybe 5 different times already, where I switched up the topics that I was talking about. Something to do with trolling, but I didn't like it.
That's how you've got to roll, because YouTube as a platform itself has changed so much, but the creators who don't change fade away, you know? And
exactly.
So you always have to be adapting, and you know, like, there's always a new trend. You can ride off the trend, and there's nothing wrong with riding trends, but I think the internet, you know, like you were saying earlier, you have to put some research into it, and the internet is quick to find out if people are authentic or not, except for these younger audiences now who are being raised on YouTube without television. You know, you get these cancerous, I shouldn't say that word, but these channels like Jake Paul and the likes who just kind of exploit these, you know, innocent people.
Well, there is a light at the end of this tunnel, and that is that these kids will eventually grow up.
Yeah.
And they are going to smarten up, and they're not going to want to watch these people anymore, and they are going to want real entertainment for their own time, right? So I feel like that's when the audience will come. But it's just the majority of people that watch YouTube videos, they're just too young at the moment.
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20. I liked some dumb stuff when I was little, and you know, actually, to be honest with you, I watched a couple Jake Paul videos months ago. I watched them, and I actually found them pretty entertaining. I can see why people would like them. You know, it was like
you were 7 years old.
Yeah,
like all this time.
It's like quick cuts. You know, like they're a little bit too stimulating for you know, my style of vlog, but I understand why people enjoy them. But this is about yo. This is about yo.
That is all about me, because my whole genre of what I do, well, not really. I'm more of just like a stand-up comedian type of guy. I can literally get in front of the camera and just talk about anything and just, you know, like spit like hypotheticals and twist words in a certain way and like try to like deliver something and just give you like a funny product. Anything.
Are you a wordsmith?
Yeah, a scientist, a word scientist.
Nice. All right. Well, we are coming up on the 8-minute mark here. Just to let you know. Is there anything else you would like to say about your channel or other projects or people that you're involved with?
Well, at the moment, I'm working on 3 different projects.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember who Grady Undery is.
Yeah, I know him. He makes the little animated videos.
Yeah, so he left a whole genre, and there's a whole void in the market. So what I'm doing is I'm abandoning the face cam, and I'm going to create a little stick character, and that stick character is me. And I'm going to just go even harder, but make the video shorter. So it's nothing but cutthroat from beginning to end.
I remember you doing a little animated thing with a really weird animated thing maybe a year or longer ago, back around the time Catch 33 came out. You were doing a voice on this guy's little animated show. I forgot what it was called, but
Yeah, Special Force.
yeah, it kind of had like an Aqua Teen Hunger Force or like an Adult Swim kind of vibe to it. You still doing that or no?
That died because the guy just couldn't do it. It just took too much work.
Okay.
And I don't blame him, but the writing was phenomenal, in my opinion.
Yeah, I liked those episodes. It was really clever, the kind of animation he did.
Yeah, yeah.
The show's all about doing what you can with what you have, so, I admired the ambition, I suppose, would be the word for it.
Yep. And then the other projects that I'm working on, they're like more behind the camera type of stuff. I'm more ghostwriting for other channels.
Oh, cool.
In hopes that they blow up, and I just collect residual revenue for the rest of my life.
Yeah, dude, get money, get cake, or die trying, man. I'm a ghostwriter too, actually.
I think that's the best profession to be in.
Yeah. So if anybody's looking for bars, vocal bars, you want a script, you want to destroy your opponent, you want to write a sick rap, hit up me or Yo.
Yep.
Alright, so we're at the 10-minute mark now. I keep clicking my lips, and people are probably going to be like, why do you keep clicking your lips? So I apologize to the audience. Yo, what do you enjoy doing in life in the next 50 seconds? What things do you like outside of making YouTube videos? What do you enjoy? What did you do today? What do you like?
So, like, today I had an interview, and I was going to wear a tie for the interview, but I just couldn't figure out how to put on a tie. No matter how many YouTube tutorials I checked, I just couldn't do it. People were just making maneuvers and doing certain twisty things.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, I need to just grab life's biggest bullshit and just roast it. So I'm starting a whole campaign against ties. Ties need to be abolished.
I'm down with the cause, man. You got about 20 seconds left. What else do you like?
I like dogs. I like dogs a lot.
Perfect.
I like coffee.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. Time waits for no one. Any last words?
Follow me on Twitter. It's @FatYo.
All right.
With a PHAT.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Dan here from the 11 Cast, and this is the episode about myself and the 11 Cast. Just to give you an idea, my name is Daniel Maureen. My name is Daniel, which means God will be my judge. My mother gave me that name. She gave me and both of my brothers biblical names, David, Jonathan, and Daniel. I'm the youngest, and I really do like that name. The more I've gotten older, the story of Daniel in the Christian Bible is a story of someone who persevered and wasn't afraid to be themselves despite the judgments of the world. Daniel was someone who was put through hell and came out unscathed. He spent his time in a lion's den, and he came out when the intention of that lion's den was to kill him. He was essentially being fed to lions, and he didn't die. And I used to go by Dan, but I mumble a lot, and my voice is kind of funny, and it's changed a lot since I was younger. But I mumble so much that people, whenever I meet them and introduce myself, think I'm saying Ben or Stan or any other three-letter word. So as I've gotten older, I've started to embrace the name Daniel because there's less confusion with my voice just saying Daniel versus saying Dan. So Daniel means God will be my judge, and I really have grown to appreciate that name more and more as I've grown older. Now, as far as my artist name exzisd, that's exzisd, that was a name that my friend Mickey, who goes by Dr. Buds IL on Instagram, helped me think of a few months ago after I had a car crash. I've been doing YouTube, I've been doing radio, television broadcasting, podcasts since 2002, actually, as a matter of fact, I have tapes from being on WONC back in Naperville. This is from my 2003 radio workshops. I wish I had a cassette tape to show you, a cassette player rather, to show you the work I did on the radio since 2004 with Q101, WONC, Shadow Metro, Chicago. So I do have a background in radio, which I was studying. Also, I did work for KMSB Fox 11 in sales in Tucson, Arizona. Got to see behind the scenes how, you know, television's done in the modern era. And I've been doing music podcasts, interview podcasts, and YouTube for a very long time now. I don't even know how long. One of my first podcasts was called Demo's Slices, which was a music podcast where I talked about music I was listening to at the time and just kind of what was going on in my life. From there, I moved on to, by the way, that podcast was hosted on a website called Podomatic. I don't even know if it's still around, but if you can find it, send me the link. That'd be awesome. I also did a podcast called the ASMR Dreamcast. I don't remember the name of it even, but it was basically an ASMR podcast where I played calming music. It was an ASMR podcast where I played calming music and then talked between the songs about the artist and tried to be calming to help people with anxiety disorder and depression like myself. But I stopped doing that because the copyright claims on YouTube, even though I was running the music through filters which made it sound more dreamy and more ethereal and more had more reverb, it was still getting picked up by the algorithm. So I stopped doing that because I got strikes on my channel, and I had a channel that was just my name, Daniel Maureen, with hundreds and hundreds of videos on it with my ASMR videos, which I deleted. And so the channel that I've got millions of views on was called Mandorine, which started out of Astronautical Throwbacks, which was my clothing company that I started in 2010 and failed. And so the URL for my old channel is Mr. Astronautical, though I've rebranded that channel as exzisd also. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm starting exzisd from scratch and back to where I was starting from here. How did I get the name exzisd? Well, I have a deep interest in philosophy and existentialism, things like that. I've studied a lot of different religions. I've got the Bible over here in English and Spanish, but I've also studied all world religions from Hinduism, Buddhism, which is a philosophy, by the way, which I adopt. I believe in the Four Noble Truths of Buddhism. All life is suffering, created by our All life is suffering, created by our desires, and the only way to alleviate those desires, or that pain rather, is to get rid of those desires and then reach a state of nirvana. By the way, small fact, Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, was one of the first compact discs I ever heard in the 90s. One of the first albums I remember, alongside Green Day's Dookie and Smashing Pumpkins' double disc Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. But the name exzisd, basically, I wanted something short, and I was brainstorming. I made a post on Facebook about how I could rebrand everything I do on social media to be under one name. And my friend Mickey, said something about exzisd, just E-X-I-S-T, but that was already taken. So, just kind of went with what I could get. I wanted something that was short, not any numbers and letters in it or underscores. I wanted it to be short and original, and so we thought of exzisd, E-X-Z-I-S-D, the D at the end for Daniel, which is my name. And the rest is sort of history. Now what I do is I make music, I do YouTube, I like to promote people, and I've just started this podcast, which you're watching right now, called the 11 Cast. And the philosophy behind this podcast is that time waits for no one, and to do what you can with what you have, because I have better equipment to make this podcast, if I wanted to, put a bunch of editing into it and film it on a nice camera with a nice microphone and get it set up, I could do that, but I don't want to because this is sending a message. The message that is do what you can with what you have, which is a philosophy I adopted from motivational speaker Les Brown, who I like to watch whenever I can. I used to watch him every morning, but now it's sort of, whenever I see him in my recommended videos or if I'm telling a friend about him. I'm really into motivational speakers, but also not BS, wishy-washy motivational speakers. I do believe in the law of attraction and that your thoughts become things, and the thoughts you have in your head shape your subjective reality, which that's a whole can of worms to dig into. But one of my favorite motivational speakers, who wouldn't consider himself a motivational speaker, he's an entrepreneur named Gary Vaynerchuk. You can follow him at Gary V on Instagram, but he's a real hustler, and he's going to tell you the hard truths that you don't want to hear, but you probably need to hear. That is, no one's going to make your dream happen for you. You just got to get up and go. I think it's Einstein who said an object in motion tends to stay in motion, so I want to keep moving and keep putting out content and doing what I can with what I have. And I repeat myself a lot because repetition is the father of learning. And the more you repeat those thoughts, say you have negative thoughts in your head, the more you focus on the positive. Not that you avoid the negative. You acknowledge that there's negative, there's pain, there's suffering, but then you take that thought captive and you don't let it consume you, you just welcome it and let it pass on by, like Jack Kornfield, who's a Buddhist teacher. He says, thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. Just let them pass through you and then refocus your mind every day onto what you like. So today I'm focusing on the fact that I'm alive, that I have a roof over my head, a bed to sleep in, I got a computer and a phone to film this on, I got a Nintendo Switch, I have a family that loves and supports me, I have friends that love and support me, as messed up as a person as I have been, and as much things as I'm going through in my life right now. I don't know where my next meal is going to come from, but things have been given to me, and I'm thankful for that. And so the shortness of this podcast is because if you're not interested in someone after 11 minutes, well then maybe, it's just to turn the light on to other people. I don't care if you have a big audience or small audience. I enjoy sharing the art of others and sharing that love with others and encouraging people to pursue their dreams, pursue their goals, and outside of my work with that in the last few seconds here, I enjoy playing video games. Currently I'm playing Skyrim for Nintendo Switch. I played it for Xbox originally back in the day. Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8. Right now I'm playing a game called Riptide Renegade, which was like $4, but I also really enjoy this game called Stardew Valley, Breath of the Wild, Zelda. I'm a huge Nintendo fan and I love video games. So we're about out of time here on my self-interview. This has been the 11 Cast. My name is Dan. You can follow me at exzisd everywhere online. Thank you very much for your time. God bless. Papa bless. I'm out. Everybody, welcome to the 11 Cast. Today we are joined by Weirdest News. How's it going?
Good, man. Thank you for having me.
So what is your name? Your real name?
Ruben.
Ruben, and aside from a delicious sandwich, what does that name mean?
It means nothing. My parents put no thought into it.
Really?
It just means, yeah.
There's no thought involved in it.
I don't even think they know that that's my name. Like, I asked them and they had no idea what it means.
Do you like the name?
Yeah, it's alright.
It's alright?
It's a name, right?
Yeah. What do you think about the sandwiches?
Those are the ones that have sauerkraut, right?
Yeah, with the corned beef.
Corned beef. Yeah, that's...
Dude, you haven't had a Reuben?
I don't eat bread, so...
Oh, man, you're missing out.
I bet I am. It sounds delicious.
Okay, so your real name is Ruben, and your channel name is Weirdest News.
Right.
What is that? What does that name mean?
It means it's news that's weird. It's so simple. Like I'm not one of those people that
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like a smartass or nothing.
No.
But literally, the names of my YouTube channel don't have that much thought. They simply are whatever I'm doing. Like weirdest news.
Yeah.
It's just news that I think is the weirdest. And the prank reviewer,
Yeah.
reviewing pranks. Everything One Piece.
Yeah, so do you want to talk
Everything
about
One
how
Piece.
you got into the weirdest news? Because, you know, I know, but my audience or whoever's watching this or listening might not know that you did a channel called The Prank Reviewer before.
Right. Well, at this moment, Weirdest News seems to be more like a show like Grade A Under A style right now. I don't know if you noticed. If you see my latest videos, it's more me ranting about things.
I'm looking at your uploads. I have not kept up with them.
Yeah.
Because I just haven't been keeping up with YouTube in general, but I see you have one here on Tekashi69 arrested, toilets are making us weak, one about XXX Temptation, rest in peace.
Yep, it's just my inner thoughts. It's basically what's kind of morphed into my own thoughts and my own rants, which I have on the regular, man. I walk in the street and I get angry at the simplest things. And I think of these ridiculous things and topics, and so now I'm just writing them and doing them, and I'll be doing a video, one video a week, I think. That's about it. But before that, it was weird news.
Yeah, I'm looking at your old channel. Your most popular video was when Roman Atwood's girlfriend got caught cheating, back when you were still doing The Prank Reviewer.
Yeah, that video is actually me debunking that was not real.
Yeah.
Right. Because people thought it was real.
That was such a time to be alive on YouTube, when you were exposing these pranksters.
Yeah. And pranks are not even around anymore like that. So many of them left, and a lot of people around me say that it's because of me. I like to think that it is.
I think a lot of people, well, such as Ethan Klein from H3 Productions, were actually looking at your channel because you were the one that was putting the spotlight on a lot of these, you know, going above and beyond doing that detective work. And I think, you know, your attention to details, is that something that is helping out with your weird news? Or do you have a process for trying to find out, like, if, I'm sure a lot of the weird news out there is not real. Do you have a process for trying to
debunk it?
Debunk it, yeah.
I don't really debunk it. I just report it. But like I said, nowadays it's not really debunking or reporting anything. It's just ranting.
Yeah.
I'm constantly morphing, you know, into other things. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Whatever works. You know, I go with the feel of it, you know.
All right. I have one of your videos playing here without the audio. Scientists found evidence of alien life on Saturn's moon.
Oh, I love that stuff. I believe in aliens a lot.
And I see your little grade A under A stick figure.
It's my new format.
That's what
show my face.
That's what Yoel's doing too.
Well, Yoel, he started doing it after he saw my channel and he liked what he saw.
Yeah.
He told me, and he said, I like that's so funny, dude. I'm going to do that too. And I was like, yeah, go for it, man. Yoel and I, we're really close, man.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the closest YouTubers that we've been at it for a while.
I've been talking to him for years, actually. Back when I lived in Florida, we tried to link up, but it never really worked out. You know, I didn't really have the... I was living in Central Florida. He was just too far, and we never linked up when I was out there. But now I'm out in Denver.
Right.
And so anyways, weirdest news. Scientists found evidence of alien life on Saturn's moon.
Yeah, I love that. Like I said before, I'm like a huge fan of alien stuff. I know there's a lot of it out there that's bullshit, but you would have to be the dumbest person in the world to believe that we are alone in something that has no border. You know, it's the universe, space.
Yeah.
There's no end.
Well,
how
you know,
we be the only ones?
You ever heard the quote by Einstein that said there's two things which are limitless in this life? One is the universe, and one is human stupidity. And he wasn't so sure about the universe.
That's a great one. And the imagination is limitless as well.
Yeah, he also said the imagination is more important than... He said the imagination is more important than knowledge.
I believe that. I mean,
but imagination is also the preview of life's coming attractions. I got your Instagram pulled up right now, too.
Oh, my Instagram. Man, I barely use that.
Yeah, your last post was June 9th.
Yeah, I barely use that. I mean, I start using it, and then I kind of like, whatever. I don't really know what to do with it, you know? I'm not that type of person to, like, post little snap or little videos of myself saying something stupid. Like, I like doing my videos, and that's it. I don't like doing anything extra, you know?
You know that Instagram just launched Instagram TV to compete with YouTube, right?
I tried it. It's very stupid. It's very stupid.
But if you're making content for YouTube, you could, just throw up content from, just throw up whatever you're uploading to YouTube and throw enough at the wall and see if anything sticks, you know?
I did that already, but it's the format of vertical videos that is very stupid. I'm very much against vertical videos. It's one of my fucking pet peeves. I hate it.
And this video this interview we're doing right now is a vertical video.
I know, I hate that. It's dumb. It sucks.
This
video sucks.
I'm taking a risk, but it's also because this is focused on the content rather than, the production quality and whatnot.
Right.
So
you know what? It reminds me of World Star videes. Have you ever seen those?
Oh, yeah.
They're always recorded with the black borders on the side. It's like
with
you're watching
the
video
emojis.
And then you have two black walls on the side. It makes me feel like I'm in some jail. It sucks. Like there's walls to the side of me. Black walls. It's I hate it.
Yeah. Well, I'm optimizing mine. You know, as a creator, I understand that because you hate seeing those black walls. I'm uploading this interview and all my interviews for this podcast directly from my phone to YouTube, and it's optimized for mobile viewing, so you don't get those black bars, and it fits perfectly on your screen.
Yeah.
So it's kind of future thinking. But anyways, your weirdest news. We're coming up on 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes here.
Yeah.
So we know what your name is, Ruben.
Mm-hmm.
Your channel name is Weirdest News. Is pretty straightforward. You cover weird news in a sort of animated grade A, under A-esque style.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some notes here. Outside of YouTube, what do you like doing?
Watching movies.
Any favorites recently?
I like The Purge. The first Purge. That was pretty good. I like all the movies.
A horror film, or what is that?
The Purge, I would call that a thriller.
A thriller.
The first Purge. Yeah, I like, I watch all movies. I have Movie Pass, so I watch a movie a day. I just go to movie theater and watch whatever's on there.
Oh, it's like you have like a membership pass for movies or something?
Yeah, a Movie Pass. So you pay $10. I hate to do, it sounds like a commercial, right?
I know,
it's not. $10, but this is what I have, so it is what it is. Yeah. I pay $10 a month, and you can watch one movie a day.
Word.
As long as it's not the same movie. You can't repeat the movie, but, I take advantage of that since I'm home.
That sounds awesome. Okay, we're almost at 10 minutes.
Go ahead.
Anything else you like besides movies? I know you said you don't eat Reubens because you don't eat bread, but...
Sex is pretty good. I like that.
That's a solid pick. I would have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Anybody you want to shout out here in the last 1 minute? Any projects you're working on? Pages you want to blow up?
Well, the only thing I'm working on is my channel itself, Weirdest News, which is, as you can see, it's a different style.
And if you want it, people can donate to your PayPal there. I see you have your Facebook, your Instagram, and your Twitter linked.
Yep.
Less than a minute left here.
Nobody has to. I just put it up there because why not, right? And some people have donated. I'm surprised that they do. But if they feel that way about me, then thank you. I appreciate it. It's good.
If I had the money to donate, I would donate to you right now for your time.
Yeah.
But I'm in the struggle right now.
That's cool. I don't take anything less than $50.
All right. Any last words here in the last 11 seconds?
What the?
Time waits for no one. This has been the 11 cast. Thank you for coming on, Ruben. Weirdest news, and we're out.
Yeah.
It's good. This is the 11 cast. Today we are joined by Dwayne, aka Dwayne Music or Sounds by Dwayne. How's it going, Dwayne?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. This show is about you. What does the name Dwayne mean?
Do well, I couldn't hear you.
What does the name Dwayne mean?
It's actually my middle name. My full name is Kellen Dwayne Hines, so I just took the middle name and decided to use it.
So your real first name is Kellen?
Yeah, Kellen.
And what does that mean?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
You don't know?
No idea what the actual, like, the origin of the name.
Did one of your parents just gave you that name or what?
Yeah, they didn't really have a meaning behind it, just like the name, I guess.
No meaning, just had a nice ring to it?
Yeah, I guess so.
And you're making sounds now, so that's got a nice ring to it too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so your music name is just Dwayne Music.
Yes.
Seems
Dwayne
pretty...
Music or Dwayne, either one's fine.
That reminds me of Dwayne Michael Carter, aka Wheezy F Baby.
Yeah.
Are you a Wayne fan?
Do what?
Are you a fan of Lil Wayne or no?
Oh yeah, I love Lil Wayne.
For sure.
Yeah, How to Love, that shit's smack.
How to Love?
Yeah, that's my favorite Lil Wayne song for sure.
That's a deep cut. Not a lot of people know about that one.
Oh yeah.
I also like that track I'm Single. You know that one?
Do what?
The track I'm Single?
Nah, I'm not familiar with that one.
It's a throwback. It was like right after he was coming out of his prime, after the Cardinal 3. But
yeah, How to Love, man. I just love the beat and the guitar in the back. I fucked with it heavy.
For sure. And the Carter 5 that is actually coming out because he got out of Birdman's cage.
Birdman finally?
Yeah. The real Carter 5 is going to come out and it's going to be epic. Because it was like all the music that was recorded during his prime.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy.
So, I got your SoundCloud pulled up here. I see you retweeting Juice WRLD. And, I mean, Dwayne Music. Is there any other deeper meaning behind that? Are you primarily a rapper or a producer?
Do what?
Are you primarily a rapper or a producer?
I'd say like a little bit of both. I really love both. I love to produce, make beats, but I think mainly I would rather pursue being like a rapper rather than a producer.
Yeah.
But I like
obviously rappers get more recognition, but producers are starting to get more recognition on like channels like Genius. I don't know if you keep up with them, but producers are getting clout too now.
Oh yeah. I still make beats. I make beats for other people too, so I kind of stay and go with both.
So why did you choose your middle name instead of your first name?
I don't know. It's kind of unique to me. Like everyone, like it kind of stuck to me because like whenever I first started making music, I told everyone I was gonna like use it as Dwayne, and nobody thought I was gonna be good. So like it was kind of it kind of just stuck. So people started calling me that a lot.
Yeah.
So I just fucked with it, and I was like, I just decided to use it. And nobody else uses it, so that was a big thing too. It was very unique.
Your real name, one more time, is Kellen?
Yeah, Kellen.
And what heritage is that?
Man.
It sounds like Nordic, like a Viking or something.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. It's my Irish shit, probably.
Yeah. Word. Okay, so Dwayne Music.
Yeah.
You want to be a rapper, but you also produce.
Yeah, I'm cool with either.
Who are your primary influences?
Primary influence?
I got a kind of Suicide Boys type vibe.
Yeah, I love Suicide Boys. Like that was like right whenever I first started making music, I was fucking with them heavy. Like I love the Suicide Boys. Like a lot of respect to like how quickly they can make music.
Yeah.
It's impressive how often they're like uploading music. You can tell they work their asses off.
Yeah, there's that. I don't know if you saw the No Jumper interview they did, but they were all about the law of attraction. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, I'm the exact same. Like, I really fuck with like their vision and shit. Like, I have the same mentality as them. Really.
they made this pact. You know, they're cousins. They made this like a pact that if they didn't make it, they were just
Yeah,
gonna end it. And I don't want to say that word because I don't want to get demonetized. But they were gonna end it if they didn't make it.
That's motivation right there.
Yeah,
That's tough.
They're all
That's
about
tough.
that law of attraction stuff and like
Yeah.
positivity, and what you put out there is what you get back, and I believe that too.
Exactly.
It's not a magic trick, but it's like
It's a mentality. Really.
you get what you focus on and what you put out there.
Exactly. You know, if you put positive energy towards people, like eventually, maybe not like really soon, but eventually it will come back to you.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah, the Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the Hindu scriptures, says you have the right to your actions, but not the fruits of your actions. So if you're doing something and expecting a result, or expecting something to come in return from it, then you've already lost out. So it's like, do good things for people and tell nobody about it. That's one of my secrets.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't tell nobody, dude. You gotta do it for yourself, not for other people. If you ain't doing what makes you happy, then what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. So
Exactly.
where are you from?
I'm actually from Oklahoma, like the smallest damn town you could imagine. Like that, my class has like 30 people in it.
How old are you?
18.
Dude, you're 18?
18.
I would have thought you were in your 20s for sure.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
So, is there a lot of people who understand what, kind of what you're doing in Oklahoma, or is it kind of like you stand out?
Like, it's just now like the wave is kind of going. Like I'm trying to get the wave going more in Oklahoma because here in Oklahoma it's a lot more country. Like
oh, for sure.
Everyone really likes country here. So like it's I kind of like fuck with all types of music. So I grew up listening to country. So like I don't hate it. Like I can listen to it occasionally, but I've always loved rap.
I like classic country, like Willie Nelson, Gordon Lightfoot
exactly,
type stuff, like old school country.
I respect all types.
But also, trap and country is starting to merge right now between Post Malone, who has some stuff, and also Lil Tracy. I don't know if you know GBC Goth Boy Click. Lil Tracy, Lil Uzi Vert had that song Horses, like it's called Horses.
Yeah.
It's on World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah, I saw that on your store. I listened to that. I like that song. I fucking do.
And it's actually really funny because country music and rap music, modern rap and country, talk about a lot of the same topics, really.
Exactly, yeah, it really does.
And it's usually like people say they like every kind of music but country. And then the country people say they like every kind of music but rap.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're going to merge them both and bring it together,
Yeah, that's what I like. I play the guitar also. That's what kind of got me started.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I always had a love for music, but
I play guitar
whenever
too.
I picked up a guitar, like that's when I really like started getting deep into it, and I would sing and stuff like that. So that's just what got me going with it.
So did you play in bands and stuff growing up, or?
No, not really. Like a few of my friends, like I could never find anyone to take it serious enough, really.
Yeah.
And if I would,
that's why I started rapping, because I could do it myself, and nobody else was taking it serious enough.
Yeah, no one's taking it like serious enough. No one wants to work like long enough. Like I can't find any really other producers around here that like really are like talented enough to really do big things. I think like I'm trying to find a lot of good producers closer to me that I could work with, but it's tough in Oklahoma. There's not a lot. There's some people like merging up. So I think we're getting something going.
But if you build something from the ground up, like you find your own sound, you'd be like the Oklahoma hero.
Yeah.
Like instead of like these other people, there's so many clones out there that are just buying beats or whatever, copy cutter. It's better to be 100% you.
Exactly.
And just trust the universe and just put in work.
Yeah.
And see what comes back,
Yeah, that's what I kind of like. I would take some other beats, like other people's beats, but I feel like I'm dropping a new mixtape here pretty soon, and I really think it's gonna blow up. I plan on launching
222.
Or do what?
It's 222. I see that number a lot recently, so I was just showing it. Anyway, so we're running out of time here, coming up on 10 minutes. I'm looking at your SoundCloud. What's a track that you would recommend people listen to, besides all of them?
My music, you mean?
Yeah.
Definitely my new song.
Your new song, that's the, I Guess That's Life?
Yeah, I Guess That's Life. That's my favorite.
Is it okay if I play this on...
me, like, my old music, I was still finding myself, like, that's what I'm saying, like, my old music, I think it's trash. Like, other people seem to like it a little, but
yeah,
I feel like it's trash.
That's how it goes. You're progressing as an artist.
Yeah, I keep progressing as an artist, so, like, my new EP, I feel like it's fire compared to the other shit.
Alright, well, I was going to play a clip, but I don't want to get this demonetized. We only have a few seconds left. So, we got your name, your artist name, we got what you do. The last part of this is what do you like. If you want to shout anybody out, you have about 30 seconds.
Shout out Northwood Dude. He's another artist I'm about to start working with. Riley. She loves me. Say
that again?
I really like it. I play sports. I've always played basketball.
Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time waits for no one. Peace. What's going on? This is the 11 cast. Today we're joined by a very special guest and YouTube legend, Shoe Nice 22. How you doing today, Chris?
Nobody ever called me Chris, though, dude. It's a girl's name.
So this show's about...
I was always called Shoe since I was in 3rd grade. Sometimes they called me like the pig. Shoo, shoo, shoo-wee. When I was a little 6th grader, fat in the hallway.
So your real name's Chris. Was there any thought that your parents put behind that name?
No. My father was the 3rd, Charles. So there was Charles the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and then he cut it off and he named all his sons different names. My name is Christopher Thomas Shuey. I've been called Shuey, Shoebox, Chewbacca all my life. But literally, Shoe Nice came around in the early 90s after Desert Storm on the roof. I would always lay the shingles nice or bring the nice. They would say Shoe Nice, and then that stuck. And when YouTube came around, I wanted Shoe Nice, but it wasn't available, so I took the first suggestion just thinking I was going to watch videos. Didn't realize I was going to become a cult.
Yeah, you're really... These Liquor Slam videos are what kind of made your claim to fame. And I remember back in the day I used to drink along with your videos because I was like, oh, there's someone as crazy as me out there drinking a ton.
Yep.
But
nah. Yeah, I'm just a beast, dude. I've been eating crazy stuff. It's just, I'm more of a billy goat than a drunk. It's all, and the alcohol is just one more item that I can handle, like, you know, not a human can.
Yeah. So
but either way, YouTube threw off my channel along with a bunch of others back in around Christmas time. Merry Christmas to you too, everybody. And then they gave me my channel back, and that's the reason why I'm back on YouTube with 13,000 subscribers. But now I can reach each milestone again.
So did your channel get deleted?
Yeah, a new CEO came in, and after the Tide Pods and the Logan Paul Japanese horse incident, those things put YouTube right out on the Today Show, and they said we ain't having it. So people like me slamming half a gallon, but they have my half a gallon Jack Daniels on my 2nd channel, and they're promoting it. And there's it's weird. I'm going to be monetized on that 2nd channel just for my half gallon slam, but that's why they took down my main channel.
Huh.
Figure it out, bro. I don't know. They won't answer me.
That sucks. Did you do the Tide Pod challenge?
No, I wouldn't do that. I did a parody, and I think they just seen it in my main thing with that title, and I think that was the straw that broke the Shoe Nice's back.
I did a parody of the Tide Pod.
There was a lady working with me in YouTube that was going to get it back. Then there was other things, and then they shut it down. And then they came back and said, well, we're going to give you Google AdSense. You're a creator again. And then they didn't even mention my main channel, and they never will. But now it seems like I'm making more revenue off of ads than I did before starting out on YouTube.
Yeah.
How much time we have left?
Oh, we're at 3 minutes.
11-second podcast, no second earlier or late?
We're coming up on 4 minutes, so we got plenty of time.
I'm a rapper too, dude.
Drop some.
Wow, I almost asked you at 4:20.
Go ahead and drop some bars if you want to.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, I'll do old LL Cool J. My radio, believe me, I like it loud. I'm a man with the box that can rock the crowd walking down the street to the hardcore beat. While my JVC vibrates the concrete. I'm sorry if you can't understand why I need a microphone inside my hand. Don't mean to offend the citizen, but I kick my volume way past 10. My stories are off. My neighborhood is tough, but I still score gold because I'm out to crush. My name is Shoe Nice. I devastate the show, but you can survive it on a radio. You've heard my P&P song, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that family friendly.
No, yeah, I don't think that'd be family friendly.
Oh, tripped an old lady in a shopping mall. You can't find more gangster than that, bro.
That'd be,
you know what I mean? 49 years old. I want to be going on tour with like Macklemore.
That'd be instant demonetization if we had your PNP song on here.
When I become a famous Netflix star, then YouTube's gonna be kissing my butt. You know what I mean? You'll see. All comes around, bro.
So, I got your Tosh.0 celebrity profile video on the Comedy Central channel up right now. That was
pretty cool, man. He stole a couple of my jokes and uses them on tour now. It's kind of weird, because I know they're my original jokes, and he watched my comedy thing on my channel when I was on his show. And he stole the jokes and he used them.
Huh.
The J.C. Penney flyer before porn and slow children playing sign, dude. They were my jokes from 20 years ago. He never used them on any tour, and also now 2 jokes that I originally made up. Danny's a cool guy. I'm going to be back on there. Where are they now? It's going to be epic.
Oh, really?
He's going to be like, hold on, you had 500,000 subscribers, because he hates YouTube. So we're going to pretend like Twitch made me rich, I think. You know, and I'm going to be on there, but it won't be airing till probably spring of 2019, summer of. It takes forever with Tosh.
He stole a couple of your jokes. Have you ever heard the phrase "good artists copy and great artists steal"?
Yeah, but he shouldn't have blocked me on Twitter just because I posted the selfie. He said don't post till after the show airs. I posted it 2 hours after I landed back in Denver.
So you were
me, you skinny little punk, and he blocked me like Joe Rogan, the Kardashian family, Miley Cyrus, her dad. Man, I just used to go on and troll people. Yeah. That's why I got a little B tattoo, bro. You know what I mean? That's the most famous dude.
Oh yeah, base God. You know? I'm gonna tag Lil B in this on Twitter. He follows me, but Lil B follows everybody.
No, we talk all the time. He retweets me all the time, dude. He loves my bits. I knew Earl Sweatshirt before he was even a rapper, dude. And he asked me if he could put on my and I just didn't even pay attention. I didn't realize he was going to become famous.
Yeah, you've managed to cause quite a ruckus in the YouTube community over the years.
What it is I've always liked to piss people off, that you can piss people off, and once you figure out you can, but I've been trolled hard, dude. There's a lot of things going on in the background, like criminal activity, man, and it's just sad because it's just YouTube, but there's grown men that'll never give up. I call them my 3 stooges. Because for years and years, they've just tried to shut me down, dude, in every way. Get over me, move on. The only thing I can think of is that, you know, they're just in love with me, and they just don't know how to show their feelings, you know.
When the times get tough, the tough get going.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, when the times get tough, the tough get going, and my dad always taught me it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
Bro, I've been to war and back. When I landed back in South Carolina from Desert Storm and a Scud missile just missed me and hit the barracks next door, I said everything else is downhill. I've been a roofer for 30 years, dude. I was the craziest dude in the Army. What we got? I want to be right on.
747, like the airplane.
No way, dude. It seemed like that last minute just froze in time. Any more questions?
No, I'm just looking at your Vice documentary right now. Shoe Nice will eat anything for fame. How is working on that?
It was quick. They got a hold of me. They drove up from New York City. I was 3 hours north living at the time. That's where I was born. So when they came up, it was all a mess because I met this dude that was a fan, and he got all crazy on these drugs. And then Vice is sleeping downstairs, and he's throwing ice balls at my hotel windows. Yeah, the next morning they were like, wow, we should have got some footage last night. Yeah, it was. They
That
didn't
was
pay me
probably-
shit. They came by me a Four Loko. They were kind of rude, but yeah, it's brought me some views.
That was-
I mean, they have it on their TV show now too.
That's probably like one of the most intimate interviews I've ever seen with you. One of the most, you know, because you're always on. You know, you're always entertaining people, and you actually
Right.
sat
Weird
down.
when
And,
people see me on the street, they always go, "Dude, man, you're just a normal guy." I'm like, you really thought I talked like, "Hey everyone, she nice again." When I broke character, I lost a lot of people, man. They want that, you know.
yeah, and a lot of people don't understand like your background. I think the world needs more understanding of where people came from. You know, and
So watch Shoe Nice Vice. That's all you gotta type
Yeah.
in. You'll find me.
Shoe Nice 22 Elite, anything for fame. It's on the Vice channel. 3.5 mil on that one.
Nice.
Anyways, we're at 9 minutes and 30
Hey,
seconds.
look at the comments on there. There's over like 40,000 because I argued with these
Oh.
haters for almost a year.
It's age restricted based on community guidelines.
Oh, yeah.
I see
They
you.
age restricted it.
I see your comment. I'm still alive. Here's my real channel 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's when I'm blowing this up. I'm getting a couple hundred subscribers every few days now. They're coming back.
Yeah.
They're realizing I'm alive.
Well, everything that's old is coming back into fashion again. So everybody wants to get with the legends, and I consider you a legend in YouTube. You know.
Right. Well, I mean, where else are you going to have on a podcast where Marge Simpson gets eaten out by Rocky Balboa?
Yeah.
That's not my vagina, Rocky.
My bad, you smell like Adrian's.
All right. I love your impressions and your Marge Simpson. We had about less than a minute left. What are things you enjoy in life outside of PNP and outside of YouTube?
Outside of YouTube, bro, I just like, you know, little events, music festivals, feeding the homeless, and just hanging out, working, dude. I love just putting in that work so
Yeah.
when I retire, I'll be able to have some social
Anything you want to shout out in the last?
on a front porch of a senior home.
You got
and
11
tell
seconds.
stories about my legendness.
11 seconds left. Anything you want to say?
Hey, everyone, Shoe Nice again. Either way. Dang.
Time waits
Yeah.
for no one. Thank you, Shoe Nice, for coming on the 11 cast. We're joined by Skinny P, an affiliate of the 904G movement. The song you're hearing now is Grind Time. You can find it on the SoundCloud. So without further ado, what is your real name?
Jeffrey Paul. I go by JP though because I think the name Jeffrey is a nerd name, so don't call me that.
But
Or
Young,
you can call
what
me
about Young
Skinny.
Thug? He goes by Jeffrey.
He spells it differently.
But
though.
actually he
And
changes
Young Thug's a G.
Yeah, Young Thug changed it to Jeffrey, and then he changed it to Sex.
Hmm. Now he's back to Young Thug.
So
though.
you go by JP Ashton because you think Jeffrey's nerdy.
Yeah, that's my name.
Okay, what does the name Jeffrey mean? Is there a story behind why you were named that? You ever smoke a Jeffrey?
There's no story behind why I was named Jeffrey. I've actually never asked my parents that. All I know is they were finna name me Jake, but we already had a cat named Jake, so
They
they
were
decided
finna?
on Jeffrey. I would have preferred Jake though. That's a lot better of a name than Jeffrey.
But you don't want to be associated with Jake Paul, though.
Yeah, bro, fuck him. Fuck him and Logan Paul.
Okay, so your real name is Jeffrey. What's your last
Yes,
name?
sir. Ashton.
Ashton. And do you know the etymology or the meaning of that last name?
I really don't, but now that you bring that up, I've done like Urban Dictionary on my name before, only my first name, and I found out that a Jeffrey is a joint, but that's all I know
That's
about.
why I was asking if you ever smoked a Jeffrey.
Yeah, I've definitely smoked a couple of those before.
Because it's in one of those movies like Pineapple Express or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was that one with Russell, the one who used to date Katy Perry, because I've heard it before.
Oh yeah, Russell Brand or whatever his face is.
Yeah.
Okay, so your real name's Jeffrey. We got that out of the way. Your artist name is Skinny P.
Yes,
You
sir.
want to explain what that means?
That just sort of goes along with my message, or what I'm trying to do is like you hear a lot of rappers nowadays that'll call themselves Lil or Young. I wanted to change it up, bro. I wanted to just be Skinny, you know? And Skinny P, like, a lot of people think that's a reference to my penis, like I have a skinny penis, but it's actually a reference to my middle name, which is Paul, which is why I go by JP.
That's cool. Have you heard Skinny from the 9 before?
I have heard of him, actually.
He's on the rise right now. Yeah, he's really good. He's on SoundCloud too. So Skinny P. Are you skinny?
Yeah, I'd say I'm skinny for the most part, honestly. I don't even hit the gym though, bro. I should, but fuck it.
Yeah, that's kind of my view too. That's why I don't get a gym membership, because I know I won't use it. It's like, I know
Real talk.
A gym by my place, they charge you $5 each time. So if I feel like going, I can go, but I'm not getting a gym membership. So Skinny P. And is there any other meaning besides that, like behind Skinny P? You like the sound?
Yeah, there actually is, now that I think about it. When I was little, I actually have had this name since I was like 12 years old playing baseball. Like, all the kids on my team, we gave each other nicknames, and mine was just Skinny. Because, like, when I was little, I was skinny as a bitch. Like, I don't even want to go into that. But I was skinny as a bitch, and so people just called me Skinny.
Word. I've always been skinny as a bitch. Actually, I used to call myself Lil D as a meme on Twitter, and then I changed it up because people were like, my name's Daniel, but Lil D was kind of like a joke.
Yeah.
There's already a little Dicky out there, and it's too many Lils, so we're going on the skinny wave now. Alright, so what do you do?
I'm just basically a SoundCloud rapper. I don't have any job right now. I go to college at FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast University. I'm studying business management right now. Other than that, I just be chilling.
Oh, word. So, you're going to school, and you're making music on the side as sort of your passion.
Yes, music is my passion. Music is my hobby. I would give it all up to be a famous rapper.
Yeah. I feel you.
That's my dream right there. Like, my dream, if I could pick a job that I knew, if I knew that I could be financially stable through this rap shit, I would drop out of college right now.
That's what. So, are you after the fame, or are you after the money? Or a little bit of both.
They're actually interchangeable. I don't really care about the clout too much. Like, I'd like the money and the bitches. It is what it is. The fame.
The fine ladies. You'd like the ladies. We try to avoid the B word here, but you'd like the ladies and the money.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, nothing wrong with that, man. It's the American dream. So I'm looking at your SoundCloud. There's a picture of on Grind Time. Is that you holding up the bills?
That is actually my friend. I'm the one holding up the gun, and it's actually an airsoft gun, but we just cropped out the yellow tip or the orange tip.
Okay. You can get arrested in some places for doing that.
True. Well, I mean, it is what it is, bro. I don't think the cops go on SoundCloud that much.
I don't know. Maybe you'd be surprised. But anyways, so your name's Skinny P, but the SoundCloud you sent me says Young G.
Yeah, that's my homie song. That's one of my other artists that I record with.
Okay, and so what does 904G mean?
904 is our area code in Jacksonville, and that's just what we started off as. Like, we've been 904G for like a year now, and look, what 904G means to me is just everybody in the group is from Jacksonville. We go to the same high school, and it's just basically our channel for making and putting music out there, like dope tunes from the 904, you know?
Yeah.
The 904 just came from our area code. Like, that's what we rep.
Word. And the G?
The G is just, you know, we have Young G on the SoundCloud channel. We got Young Peck. We got Skinny P. So the G
how many
is
people is it?
We have a producer. His name's Big L.
Big
and we have
L.
3 other rappers. Actually, we have 4 other rappers on it, but one of them is in jail right now, and I don't want to speak on his situation.
Okay, that's
Free
cool.
cash. But so right now we got 3 rappers.
3 rappers and a producer. That's 904G.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how long you been doing this for?
I've been recording for about a year, but I remember my dreams were rap, like I told you earlier. Like, I've been writing rap lyrics since probably freshman year of high school, and I didn't even see a studio until senior year when our producer Big L, he dropped like $800. He bought a studio, he set it up in his crib and everything, and he asked me to start recording songs there, and so I did.
So does your producer sell beats, or just make them for you guys?
I mean, he tries to sell beats. I don't know how successful he is, but I will say Big L does have some pretty dope beats. I don't know how well he sells them, honestly. That's his business. I don't really get in that too much.
Okay, so you guys all go to school together, or you're just in the same area? How'd you link up?
We all went to the same school. We've chiefed together more than a couple times. Young G is one of my best friends. He's my ride or die. That's my boy since day one. I've known him since, I want to say, since 6th grade. We played football together. And we've just been homies ever since. Real tight.
That's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of day ones. I've moved around too much all over the U.S., but if you got a group of friends and you're all on the same wavelength making music,
yeah,
that's a good thing when you have other people to help support you. And one of the reasons I started rapping is because I play other musical instruments and I played in bands. And it's just so hard to get everybody to meet up and band practice, with rap. I can get the beat, do it on my own time,
Yeah, I feel that, bro. You don't want other people to hold you back.
So that's 904G. Is there any vision or anything you'd like to see in the next year? Any goals you have? Any sort of sayings or?
Right now we're working on dropping a music video to one of my songs. I really want to get that done before summer ends. I really, really do, and put it on YouTube. Hopefully it'll get to World Star. I don't even want recognition from this rap shit, but one of my goals is to just do something different. Like, I hear 99% of the rappers nowadays, they all do the same shit. They're all trying real hard. With me, I don't even try that much. Like, most of my lyrics come from freestyles. Like, when I get in the studio, the first thing I do is I freestyle. And then I take the lines that I like and I write those down, and that eventually becomes the bars to my verse.
Yeah, you pick out the gems from the freestyles, right? That's what I do too.
Yes, sir.
Alright, we got like a minute left. Outside of rapping, producing, studying, do you like school, by the way?
I mean, it's tough. Like, honestly, college is tough. It's a lot of responsibility. But the classes I'm taking right now, I'm genuinely interested in.
Alright, we're about to come up at the end of the podcast. What things do you enjoy in life?
I enjoy rapping, women, I enjoy my friends, I enjoy playing sports.
Alright, 11 seconds. Any shout-outs?
Shouts out Young G, shouts out Young Peck, big shouts out Big L.
Alright, time waits for no one. This has been the 11 cast. Thank you, Skinny P.
Hey, I appreciate you for
Welcome back to the 11 cast. Today we're joined by ms.primeval, SoundCloud rapper. I don't know, would you want to be called SoundCloud rapper? Or you're just a rapper?
I'm an artist.
You're an artist. Anyways, this is the 11 cast. She's an artist named ms.primeval from Atlanta. And I set this little stage for her. Got 2 candles and a light because she keeps it lit. How are you feeling today?
Blessed. Feeling blessed. How about yourself?
I'm feeling a little stressed and a little blessed. Because I'm staying on my grind. But this podcast is all about you. And what is your real name?
My real name is Linnell. Linnell Waldron.
Do you know the etymology of that name? What that name means, or the intention of why you were named that?
I can give you what I think. I can't
Go
give
ahead.
you a definite.
Spit it. Time waits for no one.
Say that one more time.
Time waits for no one. Go ahead and give me your best guess.
Well, my name is Linnell. That's my first name, Lynel. My mom's name is Leah. My father's name is Lionel. I feel like maybe my first name is a play off of their both names, or maybe just a feminine version of my father's name. Because oftentimes people pronounce my name as Lionel. So.
Okay. And so you go by Nels?
That's one of my nicknames. It's one of my aliases, yes.
Your aliases. But your artist name is ms.primeval. What is the thought behind that?
ms.primeval. ms.primeval derived from a name that I started calling my photography business, which is Primeval Productions.
Yeah.
Primeval actually is a word from Old English terms, which means before time, prehistoric. And I actually got that name from one of my jewelers. Well, not that name. I actually heard that word from one of my jewelers back in Brooklyn. He makes like natural jewelry from like crystals and stones and from minerals. So he was describing a piece to me that I showed interest in, and the word that he used was primeval, and it sparked my interest. So, after hearing it, I asked him what it meant. I did my own research, decided that's what fit me. I feel like I'm before my time. I feel like I'm from a different generation other than which I was born in. So, that's where it all boils down to, me being before my time.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, that's cool to know. And what's the interest you have with the V mask?
Well, there's a lot that ties in with a lot. Where can I take that? I can take that in so many different directions because, like I said, it just ties into a lot. So the V for Vendetta mask is a mask of Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes, not many know of him, but he was I'm not sure what word I would use to describe him, but basically he rebelled. He rebelled against his if it's not the church, I think this church in Spain. But anyway, beyond that, doing my own research on him, I discovered that me and him were the same sign. And I feel like maybe that's where I got my rebellious ways from. Us being Aries, both being Aries, fire signs, we're very rebellious, head-on people. We take things head-on. We're very passionate people. So, that's a part of where my connection with the V for Vendetta mask comes from. And it also represents something else I have going on, which is called Idolize the Vision. IDTV in acronym. Basically, it is about being true to yourself and not being what people want you to be, but more so being who you truly know who you are by getting to know yourself and not going by what society tells you is accepted. So that's just touching the surface because, like I said, there's a lot that ties into it.
Yeah, that's a lot more thought behind it than I thought. A lot more thought than I thought. Alright, so what do? You rap? You sing? What do? You flip? What makes your life worth living?
Yeah,
What do you wake up for every
all
day?
three. I'm a full-time entrepreneur, part-time everything else. You know, I do a little bit of everything that I know how to do, which is photography. Of course, that's my first passion. Music is my first love. As far as music goes, I love to sing more than I love to rap, but rapping just came a little bit easier, I guess you could say, to put on. You know, as a singer, I was still developing my sound, still developing my vocals. So I decided to go with a rap song as my single rather than an R&B or a vocalist song. What else do I do? I do marketing, brand ambassador.
Yeah, we're both
speaking of which,
we're both brand ambassadors for Flipped. Shout out Flipped. That's
yeah, shout out to my people that Flipped. Yeah.
At 7 Lipped on Instagram. I'll post him in the description.
Yeah, we got some things that we have to discuss. Actually, I'm supposed to be setting up a meeting with Flip, just about a few ideas that I have, because I am also working on my own clothing line, unbeknownst to anyone. But
we're getting the exclusive here.
Huh?
We're getting the exclusive here. Inside baseball.
Exclusively?
This is an exclusive. Not quite an announcement, but you got some things on the back burner.
Yeah, I got a few things on the back burner, man. I'm always cooking that, and you would know. I had my profile picture as no days off. That's definitely one of my mottos, something that I live by. No days off. It's not exactly what it sounds like. Not like never taking a day off. It's more so like even when I do have a day off, or even when I am relaxing, my mind is still moving. My mind is still churning on the next big thing or the next thing that I should be doing. So technically, you know, I'm never I'm never off of my grind. So
yeah, I hear that.
You know, it's just so much. I don't even know what to get into next.
Okay.
So.
Well, we're at almost 9 minutes now.
Okay.
Or do you have any projects, mixtapes? I mean, you said you're working on this clothing line. If you want to talk about that, you can. If you want to talk about if you're dropping more music soon, live performances. I know you're into the thrift scene.
Yeah, definitely check me out. 7 Flipped.
Yeah.
You know, you can use my discount code NE77Z.
Yeah.
So pretty much Nels, but with the L's flipped as a 7.
Yeah, I got your code on video, and I have the Flipped page pulled up right now. It's Flipped spelled with a 7 for all the viewers out there. They also have an app that's on iOS and Google Play Store, and they're a Atlanta-based. Would you say Atlanta-based streetwear, like sort of like vintage thrift, but like
yes, that's perfect.
Dope clothes.
Perfect description.
So check them out. You can use her coupon code or mine. You should use mine though. But we got
the same team, same goal.
Same goal. Everybody coming up together. I want this Dr. Pepper shirt that they have on their page, but they already sold out of it.
Oh man. Yeah. But that's the beauty of it being a thrift. It's like a one-off type thing. It's like first come, first serve. So that's what makes people more hungry, if you ask me. But aside from that, my personal time, I'm not gonna release any name or anything yet, but I am working on it with my niece. My niece, her name is Ramaya. Her fashion designer name is Ro Amore.
Okay, we got 1 minute, less than a minute left.
But yeah,
the end of the show
clothing line on the way, mixtape on the way. Don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous.
Follow ms.primeval on Instagram.
What was that?
Follow ms.primeval on Instagram. Time waits for no one. Do what you can with what you have. We have 15 seconds, less than 15 seconds. What do you like in life outside of your work and the hustle?
What is my life like?
What do you like outside of your work and your hustle?
My work and my hustle.
Thank you for coming on. Time waits for no one. Peace. Welcome to the 11 Cast. Today we're joined by Clinton Lord. Go on Spotify, look up his new single, Slay Her. His Instagram is right here, same thing, pretty straightforward, Clinton Lord. Put those in the description, in the comments if you want. How you doing today, man?
What's up, bro? I'm doing good.
What's your name? Your real name?
My real name?
Yeah.
Clinton Lord.
So your real name is also your real artist name?
Yeah.
Okay, what about the name Clint? That's your real name?
Yeah, Clinton is my real name.
And do you know the etymology or the meaning of that word or the reason you were named that?
My dad told me it was after. They told me to name me after Bill Clinton because I was born in 1993.
Bill Clinton?
And yeah, that's when he became president.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what a vending machine and Monica Lewinsky have in common? They both say insert bill here. Alright. So your real name's Clinton, and you're named after the president.
Yeah.
Who got head in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so let's get to your artist name. It's Clinton Lord. What does that mean? What's this Lord life? What's Clinton Lord all about? What does it mean?
Clinton Lord's about a lot of things, you know. I'm complex just like everybody else is. So
Just like the magazine?
somewhere to start. Music, definitely. Art, society, you know, culture, and innovation.
Yeah.
Like, those are the most, I guess, important things I try to focus on. You know, I study the greatest artists, you know, from Picasso to Basquiat.
Oh, yeah, like real art.
Real art.
Basquiat is a legend.
Yeah, Basquiat's a legend from New York. He's from my city. And then I studied, a lot of these artists take the same path, like even Jimi Hendrix. He took the same path as Basquiat, you know, like the homeless path, going to Europe.
Yeah.
You know, I study the origin of music, like where rock comes from. It's from Mali. It's a place in Africa. You know, rock bands still go back there till this day to practice the music. You know what I mean? I'm really about culture, man, about traveling and finding out the pieces of this world that make it a whole. It's hard to understand people if you're not in their situation. I think the best way to, you know, to get to know somebody is to just go hang out with them. You know what I mean? Like, go see a day-to-day exit, and you'll really understand why somebody is how they are.
I think that's what the world needs is more understanding. I say this all the time on my show and all the time on my blogs and my Instagram, is that everyone is fighting a hard battle you know nothing about. So be kind.
Yep.
You know? And as a rule, man's a fool. When it's hot, he wants it cool. When it's cool, he wants it hot, always wanting what is not. Whereas William Blake said in his poem Eternity, "He who binds himself a joy does the winged life destroy. But he who kisses joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise," meaning enjoy the moment while you have it. So what's the Lord about? What's this Lord life? I see you guys, because you're friends with ms.primeval. She's my friend. I don't really know you, but what's the Lord life about?
It's kind of like what you just said, but it's I guess it's more harsher. It's like William Shakespeare put it. He said, "The brave only die once, but the cowardly die many times before their actual death." And you know, Lord life is just grasping. Would you say it, Daniel?
Who said that? Who's that quote from? "A coward to die 1,000 deaths."
William Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite quotes, honestly.
I love Shakespeare, but I haven't read a lot about him. I only know a few of his most populars.
I mean,
ignorance 'tis bliss when 'tis folly to be wise.
You gotta respect the guy that wrote some of the Bible. You know what I mean? During the Christian Crusades, you know, they after they burnt the original manuscripts of Jesus, the Bible was rewrote, you know, several times, and he was one of the people that got to write a chapter.
I had a bunch of copies. I got the Santa Biblia, which is the Spanish Bible. I have the King James Version. I have the Geneva Bible. I got a whole bunch of Bibles. I got a camouflage Bible. Been handing these out to people.
Those are pretty dope, actually. Those camouflage Bibles.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Life is definitely spiritual.
I study all religions.
Yeah, it's about becoming one. Becoming one and is, you know, a higher understanding of everything. Like, Lord life is like the elevation, man. It's about, I don't know, they said, in Greek mythology, they said Pegasus comes from the blood of Medusa, and we believe in that, like, turning the worst things, you know, turning in bad into good, making the best out of, you know, and that's something we believe in, and that's really what Lord life is, like, just some transmutation type shit, you know what I mean? Like, we'll see rocks and we'll make it gold because that's what we have to do, that's what we're here to do, and we have that ability because we believe in ourselves and we want to grow, we want people around us to grow.
So are you into that alchemical type philosophy?
Man, honestly, my whole philosophy, I don't know how to put my philosophy in simple words, because it's weird too, because I'll study Plato, and I'll study Socrates, and I'll study Aristotle, and then I'll study Alexander the Great, and then I'll study Genghis Khan. So I don't want to say I'm biased, but I'll have a few different perspectives on the same topic. So I try to understand where I'm at in the situation at the moment and try to make the best of it, you know. My teacher, and I went to school for business finance, right?
Me too.
And my economics teacher, he was teaching me this course about I always tell my friends about it. To give to A, you have to take from B, and to give to B, you have to take from A. And I always ask my friends what they'll do, like. And one of my friends was like, "I'll just like take from C," and I was like, "Yeah," but then, you know what I mean? Then it becomes like a revolving axis. But I was like, that's what you're supposed to do, though. You're supposed to try to make other options. You don't always have to take, you know what I mean? And we're just trying to change things. Somebody has to do it, right?
So is the Lord life like a group of people, or is it a philosophy, or like a movement, or what is Lord life?
Lord life has definitely become more than I could even pinpoint. It started as me and a group of people, and then the philosophy from like how we lived and what we did, because I grew up in New York and a lot of these kids were homeless and hungry, and the things they did for what they believed in to achieve things. Like, I see homeless, you know, I was watching homeless kids like Hip Vibe magazine and The Source, because they didn't have anything, but they believed in themselves so much, and they'll have these ripped jeans, and Vogue magazine will take pictures of them because they thought those ripped jeans were cool, but these jeans are really ripped because this kid only has like 3 pair of jeans.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? He writes on them because he wants the rips to look cool, and I'm just from that place. So the philosophy of, like I told you, making good out of bad and everything, it stems from all of us, man, wanting to do better.
Okay, so we're at almost 9 minutes here. We only got a minute and a half left to go over. What do you do? You consider yourself a rapper? What? You're an artist? What label would you put on yourself if you had to? You don't have to, by the way, but you're a rapper.
Some people say I'm an entrepreneur. More than anything, because I produce and I engineer and I shoot videos and I color code and I design, and that's like cut and sew, and I'm really hands-on. I'm hands-on with all my projects. Like, most of the projects I'm involved in, I'm usually like heading on any portion: the video portion, the direction, the editing, I don't know, the production, the engineering, what software we use. I'm usually like I'm more of a creative director than anything. I got to vent though. I got to rap.
Yeah. So we got a minute and 10 seconds left here to talk about what you like in life outside of your work. What do you enjoy?
I skateboard.
You skate?
You know, I do rails, I slide, I do crooks, I do I'll jump out the bowl, I'll come back in. I love skating, man.
I've been skating my whole life too.
Trying to handle it.
Dude, I studied business and finance and I skateboard. I didn't realize how much we had in common.
That's why we're friends now, bro.
Are we friends? Alright, you said it. So you like skateboarding. You like changing your hair color a lot.
Yeah.
So you're into fashion?
I took over fashion.
I was talking to Prime. She's telling me she's going to start a clothing brand.
Yeah, I know. She's in Atlanta working on it. She's a genius.
So anybody you want to shout out to? Anything you want to plug?
I want to shout out the whole Lord Family Records. I want to shout out Brianna Lord. I want to shout out Primeval. I want to shout out the whole New York City. I want to shout out Tampa. I want to shout out Huntersville, VA. I want to shout out Hoboken, Jersey.
All right, time waits for no one. Thanks for coming on the 11 Cast. Clinton, Laura, we're out. Hey, welcome to the 11 Cast. Today we're joined by, what is your name?
Sterling.
Sterling. And what does that name mean?
I don't know what it means.
Why were you named that?
Okay. My family's Scottish, and there's a town in Scotland named Stirling, and they got it from there. My mom's family's Scottish.
And sterling is also a type of metal.
Of course.
And do you have a lot of sterling?
No.
Okay.
But this is sterling silver.
Oh, that's
my wedding ring.
Oh, your wedding ring is sterling silver. Well, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Living up to your name.
Yeah.
All right. So your name's Sterling, and you said some Scottish. What was Scottish heritage behind that?
Yeah, my mom's family was from Scotland, and they they lived in the Highlands, and they were the Brockney clan, BRCKNEY with the little tilde thing above the name.
Right.
Yeah, and so they, that was a family name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And for those who aren't aware, this is our take 2, so we've already gone over this these questions.
We rehearsed.
We had a little dress rehearsal. This is the first in real life interview.
Live.
So we're gonna skip past that. Your name's Sterling, which I think is a very cool name, and also.
Well, there's Sterling Sharp, who played for the Broncos, and there's Sterling Hayden. He was a famous actor, did Winnie the Pooh for Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's Sterling. What's that guy? There was a race car driver named Sterling Moss.
Oh, so do you like your name, Sterling?
I love it, man. It's great.
I think that's cool.
It's the greatest.
I always call you Sterl Gray.
I've met other guys named Sterling.
I've
met people, and your name's Sterling too.
Sterl Gray.
Not too
because,
many, but
you got the gray beard and the. I like tea.
Sterl Gray. Yeah,
anyways, your company's called VideoForToday.com, and you've been doing this for 40 years.
Yep.
So for 40 years, let's go.
Well, when I started out, it was mostly, my uncle gave me a camera when I was like 10. It was a really nice camera from Japan, and I was doing stop action photos with it. And
right.
I don't know if y'all know what that is. It has a high shutter speed so that you can freeze motion.
Yeah.
So I'd had guys jumping out of trees and jumping on a trampoline. I'd freeze them in midair, and they started turning out really good. And I got really interested in photography at that point. And my mom was so smart, she bought the Time Life Library of Photography and gave it to me. And I read every page.
Time Life, what?
It's a library of photography.
Library of photography.
This was
like an
a
encyclopedia
70s thing. Yeah,
an encyclopedia for early
70s. Yeah.
Do you still have that?
No, I wish I did.
That'd be.
I had it for many years, but I sold it.
That'd be an archaic.
Yeah, it was cool.
It'd be interesting to read through that.
It was very comprehensive.
Okay, so you started out with stop motion based on a Japanese camera you were given.
Right.
And then eventually you worked your way into Super 8.
Right. I made some Super 8 films with friends in high school and stuff. And
okay.
They had stories. They were silent, but one was the Great Train Robbery where we did a thing, and we did The Face on the Barroom Floor. That's a Colorado thing where I had this guy paint some eyes on the face. So that was a lot of fun. Way to get girls.
Yeah.
And I joined the drama club.
Oh,
so
back in the day, it was like, even when I was younger, it's like, oh man, I wish I had a camera.
Yeah, you can be in my movie.
I'd go skateboarding with my friends. It's like, if you have a camera, everybody wants to be on the film, you know?
Yeah, right.
Nowadays, everybody's got it. It's in my pocket. It's right here.
It never really worked out for me, but I tried.
And the camera I have on this phone is better than the camera I had when I was a little kid.
Of course.
So it's pretty amazing. So from Super 8, you have this company called Video for Today.
Right.
You've been doing this for 40 years. You have 20 regional Emmy Awards.
Right, and several other things too.
How did you decide on the name Video for Today?
Well, originally, I'm making video for today.
Yeah.
Right now.
Did you make a video today?
Yeah, I was editing today.
For a punk rock band, correct?
Yeah, punk rock band. Yeah.
Do you want to give them a shout out, or?
Yeah, their name is Drunk, and Punked.
Drunk and Punked.
Yeah. Drunk, and Punked. There's three of them. One of them's drunk, one of them's drank, and one of them's punked.
Okay. Will that be on your website?
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
I don't know if it turns out good. I'm still working on it.
Your website's your portfolio and sort of
it might.
It's sort of, okay.
If I can get the audio sync right.
Okay. So maybe I'll try to look them up and put them in the description, and then they can find them.
I just worked with them last Sunday. It was the first time I'd shot anything for them.
So where's the ad going to go up on?
They're going to use it as a demo to get gigs, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
They're paying me.
Sweet. I mean, that's how it should work.
That's right.
You do the work, you get paid.
That's right. Hey.
All right, that's real cool. And what are these 20 regional Emmy Awards? Can you?
Well, when I was working at Channel 4 and Channel 5 in Dallas, we were doing some high-end promotional material and stuff, and I was camera operating on all of it, so a lot of it won in the regional Emmy competition.
Oh, so did you have to submit your work for that?
Yes, it had to be voted on and it was submitted.
And was that what kind of work was that you've won Emmys for? Has it been advertising,
promotional?
Okay. So have you worked on any short films or anything?
Yeah, I did a documentary called Tina Go-Go.
Tina Go-Go.
It's on.
Is that a go-go dancer?
No, it was about teenage garage bands.
Teenage garage bands.
Right.
And what year was that done in?
It was done like in 2008.
2008.
Yeah, and it turned out pretty good. We had some interviews with some guys that were still playing and guys that had moved on, some old radio DJs and stuff that would play the music and stuff. And it was interesting.
Okay, so can people find that if they want?
Yeah, I think you can get it on Netflix.
On Netflix, and it's called Tina Go-Go.
Tina Go-Go.
All right, check it out on Netflix.
Yep.
Tina Go-Go. I'm gonna have to do that when I get home tonight.
Yep.
All right.
I've done a little bit of everything in video. Pretty much done hunting and fishing shows. I worked for 3 years for the Texas Rangers Baseball Club, doing all their promotion and marketing and all their stuff. And then,
So how many companies did you work for in
40 years?
In videography before you were your own boss?
Probably at least about 5, 6, maybe 6 different companies.
5 or 6 companies over how many years?
Over like 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
And so for the last 10 years, you've been kind of working on your own.
I did 25 years of it at Channel 4 in Dallas.
Yeah.
The CBS affiliate.
He put in the time. Now he's his own boss.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Better.
Okay, so we've gone over your real name. We've gone over your company name, Video for Today.
That's it.
Some cool stuff.
Look at my website.
He just filmed a promotion for this punk rock band. What was their name one more time?
I think it's Drink, Drank, and Punk.
Drink, Drank, and Punk.
I think that's
We'll find them. The internet will find it. All right, so we've gone over your accolades.
Oh, one more thing I did recently that I'd never done before is I bought a little drone.
Oh.
And I do aerial photography.
Aerial.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, it's cool, and I've got some really nice stuff up in the mountains and business, places with their signs and stuff. It works great for that. And establishing shot from the air.
It's great for setting.
Yeah.
To show overview of an air. Exactly.
Establishes the location.
Yeah, there's this guy on YouTube called Casey Neistat, and he's got every drone.
Oh, yeah.
From every new drone that comes out, he's got it. The DJI Maverick,
he's a collector. That's beyond.
He actually has a video of him on a snowboard with a drone.
Yeah, following him.
No, like this is a side topic, but it was a special built drone to lift him out of the air on his snowboard off of a jump.
So he's flying with it.
Yeah, and it was like a viral video.
That's
that, you know, this, I think it was DJI or one of these big drone companies helped him.
Mine just
engineer.
has a little high definition camera on it, you know.
Yeah.
It gives me that nice high
But
angle shot.
it's amazing what they're doing with those drones, and they're putting a lot of regulations in there.
Well, I almost got a ticket in Boulder.
Huh.
I was shooting a Japanese restaurant up there, and they had a nice sign on it in front of the building.
Yeah.
So I got my drone out, and I was doing some shots of the building, and this bag lady came walking by, and she says she's shaking her fist up at the drone. And she's going, "Quit following me, you know, quit following me." And I was going, "I'm not following you." So I packed up and left, and I got a call from the Boulder Police Department.
Oh, really? She was paranoid about it.
Yeah, and they said, you got to have a permit. You got to have a permit.
Oh, you have to. So what? Here's a tip for the people out there with the drones: drone and dash. Get the footage and dip.
That's a good one.
All right, so we got about 2 minutes left here. I assume that your work kind of is your passion.
Of course.
I mean,
I love my work, and that's what makes it. It doesn't seem like work.
Yeah.
And I truly, if you're not doing something you love, you need to find what you're doing and then do it immediately.
Because you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough.
That's right. Don't stay in a dead-end job that sucks, man. Don't do it. Go find what you love.
For me, it's, you know, you got to make ends meet, but you also can't, I mean, for myself personally, I got to be doing something that fulfills my creative,
absolutely,
you know, needs, my desire to create, and my inspirations for that.
And most of the time, you know, my mom was real good to me about that. She would always say, "Do what you love, and the money will come."
Yeah.
So that was the deal. Just keep doing what you love. There were slow times and in between jobs and stuff, but it always keeps coming if you just keep doing what you love.
Shout out moms.
Yeah.
All the mom love out there.
Yeah. So yeah, just do it.
So just do it. All right, we got less than a minute left. What are things outside of your passion, outside of your job, that you enjoy doing with your free time?
Fishing.
Fishing?
Yeah.
Where at?
Oh, I try to fish out of Chatfield, but I can't catch anything. But I have caught some brown trout up on the Arkansas a few times.
Some brown trout?
Yeah. Catch them on a fly.
Do you eat any of what you catch?
No, I throw them back. I go get your granddaddy. That's what I say. Go get the big one. Biggest fish I ever caught was a foot long.
Foot long, like Subway.
But I've been on some fishing trips where they caught marlin and stuff. I was just running the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So, got about 11 seconds left here. Anything else you want to say? Go to video4today.com. This has been the 11 cast with Sterling. Any last words for you?
No, man. Live life to the fullest.
Live
all
life.
you can, man.
Thank you. Time waits for no one. God
That's
bless. Right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the 11 cast. Today we're joined via Skype with Michael Phillip from Third Eye Drops. How are you doing today?
I'm well, man. I'm well. Thanks for having me on. Happy to be in this non-local conversational space with you, man.
Yes. It is Sunday, August 12th, 5:22 p.m. And what is your name, your real name? Even though I just said it.
My real name. Oh, did you? Because my real name is actually Flagnar Benverson.
No way.
It is Flagnar Benverson, man.
So what's
Scandinavian? No, it is Michael Phillip. It is Michael Phillip.
That was gonna be way more interesting.
Yeah, Flagnar Benverson would be a fucking great name.
Where'd that name come from?
My mind, but it is funny because it is funny because I do have like Scandinavian heritage, so maybe somewhere deep in my DNA there's a Flagnar Benverson like Viking type dude. Who knows?
I also have a little bit of Scandinavian heritage. Okay, but
you look like you do.
Yeah, I'm Swedish but the show is about you, sir. Your name is Michael Phillip. What is the meaning of that name? You know the etymology of that name? Why you named that?
Yeah. I know Michael. You know, he's like the primary archangel, and he's supposed to be made in the image of God, I guess. So it's like something like godlike. And then Philip is. I actually looked this up recently. It's kind of funny at first. Then I distilled a little something out of it. It's actually from two Greek words, and it is philos and hippos. And philos means like friendship, and hippos means horses. So apparently Philip, this ancient Greek aristocrat or whatever he was had a lot of horses, so his name means like friend of horses.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
So I like to think of it as like, I guess, like hearkening to companionship, friendship, loyalty, or something like that. I don't know.
Did your do you know why your parents or guardians named you that?
Yeah, I'm named after my dad, actually. He's Michael also.
Oh, so you're Michael Jr.
Technically, I guess I am.
Do they call you that or no?
When I was younger, some people called me that. I mean, when you're with, when you're at family shit and they need to distinguish between the two, sometimes people throw out a junior, but not really.
But there's also the initials MJ that way.
True, and I got a lot of good company there.
Yeah. Okay. So
I can moonwalk as well.
Oh, I can as well.
MJ. Damn, dude.
I've been moonwalking since a youngin.
All right. Respect.
So we got your real name and your fake made-up name and your prefix or suffix or whatever you call the junior part of it. What is the name of what you do?
I primarily do things through the vessel of Third Eye Drops, which is a podcast, like a weekly hour-ish long conversational coven between myself and one or two other human beings that hopefully have interesting, novel things to say. I also make some videos and stuff here and there, which I'm trying to do more of. But that's primarily what I'm doing these days, creatively.
Okay, and so I'm seeing from the description here, interviews, outer views, and wonder-mongering for sentient sapient seekers, hosted by yours truly.
Yeah, you gotta have fun with the language. It's who the fuck wants to hear an interview podcast? No, you gotta be more playful. You gotta skeet some novelty onto the internet, man. You can't get too mundane with it.
I see you're under the philosophy category. 410 5-star reviews is pretty good. Besides your that was very wordy, that creative. I never read the description before. I just download. How would you explain that to the
I mean,
listeners who don't know what that means?
It's really open-ended conversations, and the name is sort of tongue-in-cheek. I mean, because of the name, I get probably my most random and common cold-called message is, how do I open my third eye? And that is not at all what I intended by naming the show Third Eye Drops. It's definitely more tongue-in-cheek, but I also did use it for a reason, and I guess that reason is that there are very few places in civilization currently to really try to nourish your existential wriggles and try to get at the core of actually what the fuck is going on deep inside of ourselves and what the human condition means, if anything. And our culture is not going to pull you toward those answers in any kind of satisfying way, because we live in a culture dominated by the dollar, and that doesn't really do a whole lot for the dollar, exploring those sorts of questions. So I guess I'm trying to create a media vessel / lens through which I can explore those things, and hopefully other people can explore those things, and then there can be something of a community orbiting around that sort of subject matter and those sorts of questions. And I do them with a lot of different types of people, from creative scientists, monks, pretty much anybody that seems like they have a novel take on it with something worthwhile to say comes on the show.
So how exactly did you come up with the name Third Eye Drops? Because the third eye it's sort of one of those it's a bit of a meme now, everybody's trying to...
It's a platitude, right? It's a platitude. Everybody has a video about how to open it, and there's a lot of hucksters out there claiming they know exactly what it is and what it's going to show you and how it's going to make you a member of the Illuminati and
Yeah.
get some Rolls Royces in the old driveway, and yeah, that's not at all what my show is. Hopefully it doesn't come off like that at all.
Yeah.
And I don't honestly really know how I came up with the name. It was I know that there were a sequence of psychedelic experiences that inspired me to start doing the show.
Did they involve eye drops?
They did not involve eye drops. No, they did not.
Okay.
But that would be interesting. If anybody has a recommendation there, hit me up. I'd be curious how that would work.
Now administering third eye drops. I love that intro.
But yeah, it's really just, I guess it's a tongue-in-cheek way of saying kind of nourishing your existential condition, since the third eye is associated with that. But yeah, I don't have a great origin story for the name. I guess it's just something that popped into my mind in sort of the ensuing inspiration that comes after a good trip or sequence of trips.
Yeah, I'm looking over your Facebook page. Some very trippy artwork on here. Trippy memes. Where did all these feelings come from, and where can I put them? And it's eye crying.
Yeah, I was being a bit emo that day, probably.
Alrighty. So I think the iTunes description was a lot easier to follow, actually, in retrospect. Interviews and outer views. What's an outer view?
It's just, again, it's just a way of fucking around with the English language. Everybody has interviews, but nobody has outer views.
So
and I guess an outer view is some sort of meta type of conversation that expands beyond the scope of just the inner verse into the outer verse.
Okay. That's a little bit too woke for me. I think I need some more third eye drops before I can fully comprehend.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not.
I'm just messing with you.
It's definitely not.
But anyways, so we got your name. We got what you do. What do you like in life outside of your podcast, outside of your project here? What are the things in life you enjoy?
And just anything, or
just anything, yeah.
Things that I do to better. I mean, I guess I would divide it up into things that I do to try to better myself or learn things, and things that I just do when I'm feeling like a lazy sack of shit. I mean, I do try to get to the gym. I do try to meditate fairly regularly.
Doesn't sound like you enjoy it if you're trying to get to the gym.
Varying success.
You're about to eat dinner after this. What do you like to eat?
All sorts of food, but I guess I'm a huge fan of Japanese food. I spent some time in Japan.
Oh, awesome! So it's my dream to go there someday.
Yeah, man, make it happen.
Kyoto and Tokyo.
Yeah, those are
the two parallels.
Great spots. The Kyoto area is really cool because there's a lot of diversity around the area, because Kyoto is obviously known as the kind of cultural center. Mm-hmm. It's the old capital, so there's tons of temples and shrines, and it has a very spiritual vibe. There's also a really famous river there, so there's a lot of cool stuff to see. But then that's really close to Osaka, so you can get to Osaka really easily. There's also a place called Nara really close to there, where there are all these semi-wild deer, where again there's a lot of temples and shrines and cool stuff to see, but there's also deer just roaming around, and you can pet the deer and feed the deer. It's really cool.
Awesome.
So
maybe I'll be able to see that someday. We got
time is up.
Third eye drops. Check them out. 11/11. Peace out.